The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Missy, K-Show. Missy, K-Show. Missy, K-Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio, here we go. Hey, see Missy K. Hey, see Missy K. Her beauty and passion, talk music, fashion, loose lips, red cup, love Joe. She's always on Facebook, Instagram, taking calls on the telephone. Sexy if you say so. It's the Missy K Show.
Show. It's your girl Haley B in the building. Ow! Tonight we have a special show with our company, Asia Aliyah. Welcome.
Thank
our
you.
Our life coach and couples coach.
Yes.
Tonight we have a very special show, and I hope everybody enjoys. La, what's on everyone's list?
Me and Lady G and me. Well, on everyone's lips tonight is B. Smith. So y'all heard of B. Smith. She was a model. She was she's also an author. Mm-hmm. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 2015. Okay. They say some of the women or men who are diagnosed, they have at least 10 years, even less, and sometimes even longer before they pass away.
Yes.
So now she has a husband. Okay. She's been with her husband since 1992, so she's been with him for a long time. Okay. So what he decided to do was go on Facebook or whatever social media platform he was on, saying that he has a new girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they already attacked him. And my thing is, why you even put that on social media? You shouldn't even put it on social media. The thing is, the lady is moved into the house where him and his wife lives. Okay, so she's helping take care of his wife along with his daughter.
She sure is. Who does his wife think she is?
Well, we don't know because she forgot.
So let me ask you this: so how long has she had Alzheimer's?
Since 2015.
Okay, it's 4 years, almost 4 years.
Okay,
and it happened almost immediately.
Yes,
really.
Yeah.
But how old is she?
That
60 something.
She's in her 60s?
60 something. Yeah, I think either 62 or 65. I thought it was like 62 or 65.
Because what I was getting at is that it's kind of tough. I don't think you should have put it on social media. That was
right.
That was stupid.
Right.
Because it's nobody's business. However, keep in mind that the effect that these people go through when they have this dreaded disease is a horrible disease.
Yeah,
and they don't remember, they don't function, So if she's been at a point for several years where she doesn't recognize him and he has no life, whatever. I kind of get it.
Right.
I absolutely get it.
Yeah.
I honestly do. And honestly speaking, I think I was reading an article earlier about this, and I think he went public with it because she originally wanted to go public about dealing with her disease and wanting the world to know about it. Then it got worse.
Yes.
So then she can't make any logical decisions as to what she wants to do. So he decided to go to social media at that point.
Right.
And he's been getting pretty beat up.
I mean, frankly, I kind of, if this is his girlfriend, as they say, actually, I kind of admire her in a sense because, number one, you don't know how long this lady's going to live.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, and you love this man enough to be in this situation with him
and
helping him take care of her.
because the daughter is there alone.
Because I know a lot of sisters not going to do that. Why? They're giving her flag mainly because she's white, probably.
That's exactly why what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm going to say.
Sisters are not going to do that. Most, I know a sister that did it, but the average sister, they're not going to do that.
I agree. They're not. And honestly speaking, she said she saw love in him when he invited her out to breakfast with them. And when she met B for herself, she knew immediately that this was love. He cared for her. He really wanted to be there till death do us part.
Right.
But it was difficult to deal with.
Right.
And with that, she decided to take on the responsibility with him.
Well, she's only had Alzheimer's for what, 4 years?
4 years.
You said? So, do you think it's a little soon for her to be moving?
Not when they're telling you after you're diagnosed, they're giving you like 10 years. Or
everybody
even
progresses differently.
Exactly.
Everybody they don't progress the same.
You just never know.
So,
and with the examples of sentences that she was putting together,
exactly.
She's gone.
And he didn't stop taking care of her.
Really
it's like everybody stepped in to help.
But he also has a life himself.
And that's what he said.
He's
like,
not
he doesn't
dead yet.
Exactly. And that's what he was saying. He's like, I haven't died, so I want to continue to live and be happy.
But I'm going to still take care of my wife, and my girls is willing to help me do that.
Exactly.
I think that's admirable.
There's nothing wrong with that. So
people are just so selfish and so all caught up in their feelings and stuff. I bet you if she's a black girl, they would feel differently about it. It wouldn't be as much flack as she's getting now.
I think it'd be more. Pathetic. Like some people will probably, like, oh, you're black, so do this for.
They
black
see
woman.
her.
Like,
she's established this estate, and he's left to gain this, and so they see her stepping in and taking over this what this black woman has.
Worked so very hard for. And she's worked very hard. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. She has paid her dues, but at the same time, the harsh reality is she has a sickness. Yeah. And she won't be here long.
Exactly.
And he wanted her to live comfortably in her own home. Right. And if you look on his Instagram page, she's happy.
Yeah.
As sick as she is, she's happy.
Is.
Do you?
Exactly. So we don't know.
With her friend, that's her husband's
exactly. You see them in the house together cooking and doing all kind of stuff.
And she loves that lady. Yeah. You can tell. She addresses her as if she's her real friend.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll keep on going. I'm bringing up Nick Cannon. I actually really like Nick Cannon because just following his businesses and his different things that he's done, and a lot of stuff that he owns. A lot of the stuff that he wants to do music in the studio. So he's like, no, I'm going to buy the studio. So when I can come whenever I want to. A lot of the stuff he's done, he stood by it, and he stands by the black race, and he stands by everything that he says. This one particular thing he said, though, was white women, Nick Cannon on interracial dating. White women are a status of success, which means to me, when men don't have the success, they deal with us, right? They deal with us. We good. We take care of them, make sure they're good and all of that stuff.
Build them up.
Build them all up so they can
get them all shiny.
Listen to her. Exactly. Get them all shiny. And the minute they get all shiny and they get their money, then they go outside their race. So that's why he said that. And I want to ask everybody, do you guys agree with that? Because I agree.
So let me understand the statement. So he's saying that white women are a symbol of success
when it comes to
when they're with a black man.
Exactly. He also made a comment. He says, white women are looked at as success, he said. In America, we see a white woman. I couldn't have you. My daddy couldn't have you. My granddaddy couldn't have you. I would get killed, even looked at. I would have been put in jail even if I looked at you. But now I'm an NFL player. Now I can have you.
You know what? Unfortunately, there is some truth to that.
It is.
That's what society has made it.
Yes.
It is. I mean, it's whack.
It's so
because
whack.
there are some very, great black women.
Right.
And a lot of, like you said, a lot of them helped make them who they are.
Right.
They were there when they were nothing.
Exactly.
But there is some truth to that. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Asia, when you're doing coaching and dealing with couples, what is their number one complaint on when they're having issues within their relationship?
Why you still my question like that?
I'm sorry. Because, you know, it has to do with couples and the financial status. So I just want to ask
hers is a little different than yours.
Yes.
So, okay, so just so I understand, are you asking, like, what do couples
the number
face?
one gripe? Yeah,
like,
exactly.
what do they face as far as, like, the downfall to their relationship?
Yes.
It's communication.
Communication.
They cannot communicate for the life of them. They just cannot. It's very difficult. And I honestly think it's because they didn't start off on the right foot. They did not start as friends. I feel like when you start as friends,
what are you telling people?
You have to genuinely be friends.
Yes.
Because if you're not, the moment that you get into an argument, you're gonna be ready to flee.
Absolutely.
But if you make a friend, it's like, hey man, you stuck with me.
Right.
Listen,
Exactly.
We don't like each other right now, but you're stuck with me.
Right.
And what's for dinner?
Exactly. Why you doing? Put that over to the side. It's crazy. So I do, you know, Nick Cannon has said a lot of different things. He's also stating that if you are his woman, you don't have to work. That's why I really like him, because I'm not trying to work right now. But that's another story. He was like this 50-50 thing. I don't understand it.
You're not white enough, though.
No.
Hey, it doesn't. Hey. What he said. I don't have to be white
That was
enough.
shade. It was like
He's
this.
gonna take care of the woman.
He ain't gonna be.
He got flack for that
He
too.
ain't gonna beat y'all. He ain't gonna be. With
It's
nobody,
okay,
y'all.
but he just put it out there in the atmosphere.
Too
It was a
much money.
man who said that. You know how many people keep saying we need to do this 50-50? I'm not for it.
I want to work.
I'm not for it.
Like I'm
I
just
do. I don't want
You
nobody
saying
hanging
that
it
now.
over my head. Like
don't
I
either.
pay all the bills here.
You're right.
You can't do nothing.
No,
Yeah, you don't make your
see.
own money. Why you asking me for my money? I'll give
you
you
can
this.
have
nothing
that.
without me.
You don't even have to.
I don't
you know
want
what?
that. I can
So
work
y'all
my
messing
little
up
my
dreams.
little
Your
job.
car, your clothes, I bought it.
I already have all that.
I put
Come on,
gas
let
in
me
your
have it
tank.
back.
You're not leaving the house in that car.
Have it back.
They're going to police.
Okay.
Can I
So,
have it back?
we have a question because this was aimed at something I saw on social media that really got on my nerve. So, do you think in a relationship that a man or woman should tell you if they cannot have kids or not?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yes.
Some man said he is not obligated or she is not obligated to tell you anything. You're going into a relationship untruthful.
Okay, let me just say this. They're not obligated, but when the crap hits the fan, because it's coming out.
Right.
So don't get mad when I say kick rocks.
They
Because you
don't
were not
have to.
forthcoming.
They don't necessarily have to let the person know, but morally, or if you have a sense of character, you want
Thank
to
you.
be able to give that information because
Right.
you're
You
giving
wanna
that
lead nobody
person
on.
you're giving that person the opportunity to make the decision as to whether or not they want to be with
I'm
you.
more
Exactly.
of a
And you're
specific
robbing
type
them of
person.
that.
Like if you like if the conversation of kids ever come up, I'm gonna tell you like I can't and I do not want to have children.
Right.
But other than that, I'm not gonna feel comfortable talking about the fact that I can't have children because that's an emotional flaw that I deal with in myself. That's insecurity.
Right.
So I think that it shouldn't be an obligation, but it should come out when necessary when the conversation is had.
And a lot of people, I feel like when they don't want to give that information, it's because they feel insecure.
Yeah.
They do. It's probably a reason why they can't have children or something personal that is near and dear to their heart, and they don't want to give that information up because it will.
And the
hinder
thing, once
the
you fall in love with
relationship.
me, you'll stay with me even though you find out I can't have babies.
Maybe not.
My uncle
Maybe
once
not.
told me that if I were to like get my tubes tied, that a man wouldn't want me.
That's bull.
And and part of me was like, I kind of feel that way. I kind of feel true. I mean, I feel like that's true.
Really?
I kind of feel like it is because it goes back to one of those old, what was it, Scarface movies. She can't have no kids. You know, and it's kind of like I don't even want to be bothered with that.
That's crazy. That's funny. All right, this is your girl Lala. You can catch me on Missy K Loose Lift Show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We're gonna go to our break, and when we come back, we're gonna be with the beautiful,
Oh,
yes,
my
so
God.
sexy Lady D's with Kissable Nights, Dating After 50.
We'll be right back.
Oh, my.
Girl, I only fuck with you. You should know that about me.
invite me. I got the herb, we can light it. Smoke till we fuck each other. I mean, smoke, drink, and fuck each other. Girl, it's up to you. Yeah, it's all on you. Choose on what you wanna do. Make it happen, make it true. And I'm trying to hold on. I'm yearning for you so bad. Let me know when you're alone. Tell me if you need to smoke. Baby, I could. I could. Whenever you need my stroke, I'm your way to go. I could. I could. I could. I could. Baby, I could. I could. Whenever you need my stroke, I'm your way to go. Baby, I could. I could. I could pull up on you. I could pull up on you. Hey, I could pull up on you. I could pull up on you. Yeah. Girl, I'm sitting outside, texting you that I've arrived. Baby, can I come inside? Girl, you've been all on my mind. Feeling the temperature rise. Got the fire in your eyes. If you want it, you can ride. Or in your bedroom tonight. Girl, it's up to you. Yeah, it's all on you. So tell me what you wanna do. And I'm trying to hold on. I'm yearning for you. Let me know when you're alone. Tell me if you need to smoke. Baby, I could. I could. Whenever you need my stroke, I'm your way to go. I could. I could.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lady D's, and this is Kissable Nights. You know, I like talking about the difference between men and women and how we think. It can be quite shoot over there. It can be quite fascinating. So today we're going to talk about the difference between men and women and what they think about when they're having sex. But we're going to keep it relatively clean, aren't we?
Relatively.
Relatively. Okay. So on a nicer note, some women say, this is from the women. Some women say they are thinking about their to-do list.
No.
To-do list.
You heard me.
I'm thinking about that all day.
No.
Okay. Some women say they're wondering how their boobs look while they're doing it.
No, it's a stomach. My stomach.
Damn about my boobs.
And Missy Cash.
I can give a damn.
They
My
wonder how their
stomach look good
boobs
like
look.
this?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Like,
y'all don't want to tell the truth.
No.
Okay.
Look at the kids. Girl.
Okay, so some women say that because they never turn their mind off, they're wondering, you know, does he really think he's doing something?
Ooh.
Well, depending on
Yeah.
who it is, that is a question.
Yeah.
How much longer
Okay.
we got?
See, you're that clock person. Okay. The men say, some men say they're thinking about how good it is because it's such a joy to get it, that they're just excited. That's
agree.
what they're thinking about, the excitement of finally being there.
Being
right?
with the person.
They can live in the moment.
Yes.
Some men say they're in their heads while they're going through the motion, they're having anxieties because they're trying to figure out where the CC is.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same place for everybody.
Right.
True.
And so they're like trying to be, you know, incognito about trying to find it, but
Some of them
they say
can't
the
reach
search
it.
is real.
Right.
They can't.
Some of them cannot
what
reach
Asia-
it.
Some of them like, how far is it?
I hope it's not lost, though. I hope it's not lost. It's okay, though. You'll get there one day. Eventually in time.
Some men say that when they're in the motion, they worry about when they can change positions, especially if they're like in the missionary position, because their arms are like being in a constant plank.
When they get
Their
tired,
arms are
workout is
tired.
longer.
But they don't. They're worried about timing as to how to do it
Wow.
You know, without
That's what they
breaking
think
the mood.
about.
Which is the reason
I
why
thought they just
suffer.
do it.
That's why they
Right.
don't get it
Down
together.
there.
Down
They're
there.
thinking
they
too
think
much.
it's
Too
damn
much.
much.
Yeah,
Too much.
yeah.
What we call some of that. though.
Focus.
I mean, it's like a
focus.
thing. Like, I mean, some people could be laid. Some people, let's be clear about that, can be laid down and then be like, "Okay, flip me over," or he could be like, "Okay, flip over." I thought
See,
it
that's
was
when, but that's when you're in connection with
In tune
each
with
other.
the person
You
you're
know,
with.
you don't have to wonder because your girl, if she's into you and you into her, she don't mind telling you,
She gonna flip you over.
"Hey, let's do this."
Yeah.
I feel like doing this.
That goes back to that friendship thing.
Exactly. And you're comfortable with
Friends, you
doing
done already
that.
had this conversation.
See?
You done already played this out
Or
in your
you
head.
have a man that already know what to do, and he's already trying to get everywhere.
and that's the
in
dominant
Well, no,
I like
because
in
you
the
want-
men.
It's not a cookie cutter situation though, because
It's not.
he can't come in if I need you to finesse me, you can't come in at the gangbusters like you just know me and just start just.
Not
No,
that he know
no.
you, but he to explore your body. I mean, come on.
Some people are
Does
not
this feel good?
explorers, though.
Exactly. Some people don't know how to do it. It's
Some
like,
people are like,
all
let's get
cocky
it done.
and
Let's get
everything.
this done.
Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
And those are the wrong
Don't
people.
come and exploring on me on things that you and I don't know how to do. This is not a tutorial.
This is not
We don't know what we doing.
Okay, so
stick to the
you are
basics.
generation. You're not millennial. What are you? Are you
She's a
generation
millennial.
X?
I'm millennial.
You're millennial.
She's a
Yes.
millennial.
Who's generation X?
Who
It's not
knows?
X, Y, Z. So you're you're a baby boomer.
I'm baby boomer.
And then you're X. Or are you Z? Are you guys X or Z? Or X or Y?
She's X Y'd out.
X, Y'd out.
Anyway, okay.
We're millennial.
Okay, millennial.
Okay.
So-
okay, from a millennial standpoint, you know, I'm even uncomfortable asking this question. But what do your friends say?
Right.
Let me make this clear. What do your friends
Let me
say?
say what I
they think about.
First,
I don't want to
feel
know what
like,
you think.
I'd be like, look, how long is this going to take for my mom to start asking me where I'm at?
Like, can you please
Oh,
hurry up?
Sound like Asia.
Listen, I got things to do. Come on.
Wow.
So and then now you get the jackrabbit pumping all
You
the
feel me?
shit.
Okay. So now, no more about what you. I want to hear what you.
At the Martian
God.
says, how many rounds can she last?
Okay.
As Zay from the Gram says, if we gonna go again, and what am I gonna eat after?
Huh?
Tacos.
It's always
That's what we
tacos.
gonna eat.
It's
Always
always tacos.
Preferably from a truck. Because they open late.
Always.
All right, look.
This girl is crazy.
This is a realistic idea though. I gotta kill this so that she can feel me when she's using her hand or with another dude.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's a little,
A
you
whole lot
know.
of thought.
Right.
How old is that one?
How?
Yeah, seriously.
He is 20.
Wow. See these young ones, boy. Okay, go.
Are you getting more excited?
Can't do nothing.
I can make a
know
phone
sex
call
talk.
quick while I stop
You know I
playing
love
Black
sex
Star.
talk. Let's go.
Easy Money Brando says, "How freaky can I get her?
Oh.
How it feels and the booty. Somebody said I'm a virgin. If I remember to take my birth control, that was me at one point.
That's a good question.
You feel me? If I
These
took my birth
millennials.
control,
These are these millennials.
the person that I'm thinking about while I'm doing it, you know, they ain't look at her face because the facial expressions that you make.
What she say?
Oh yeah, all right. Marriage. I was shook.
Oh, wow.
I'm not thinking about
Shook it.
shooketh. The it of the shook.
Of the
I wasn't doing it.
millennials.
In the
These
marriage.
always one.
Like, nah. I'm good.
Marriage. You'd be
I
surprised.
did not.
But they're
Now,
young.
this is what my very close and dear friend said. Are you ready? Lala, I need you to be ready in your
I'm
head.
scared.
Who are you?
The first man to keep a fish as a pet instead of eating it was a real outcast in his village. That was his response. That's what I'm thinking about during sex.
I cannot.
I'm glad it wasn't just me.
I cannot. Why should you point me out?
Thank you. Oh my God.
Like I'm lost. Like
Look at
I
these
don't.
heads.
That's
spinning
why
over
I
here.
put you
I
out.
need him
Did
to
you get it?
If, read it again.
Read it again.
One more time. This is too much.
The first man to keep a fish as a pet instead of eating it was a real outcast in his village.
That may keep him standing a lot longer if he's thinking of stuff like that.
Something
I'm thinking that's
stupid
why
like
he does
that.
that.
Why would
Because your
somebody
focus
think about
is just like,
I don't
okay,
think that's it.
I
I
don't
talked to Chief
know.
and that wasn't it. That ain't it, Chief. Last two. Life and pulling out. Please pull out in all situations.
That game don't work.
Right?
That don't
Condoms,
I got 3
condoms
kids.
are your friend, though. Condoms are your friend, for sure.
Totally.
And why can't I come so I can go home?
That's not like Asia.
Quickly.
I got things to do.
Your Uber's outside.
It's a hot mess.
See you next time.
So, Asia, what do you be thinking about?
Ooh.
Some of the things you've thought about.
I be thinking about how I look in that mirror. Like, damn. I got ass like this.
Right.
Standing up, I don't know.
Man.
That is always a thought.
Right. No insecurities here.
Like, I thought they was fretting about that butt, but okay.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
That's what I think.
Thought they
Most
was
of the
fretting.
time.
So you more stuck on yourself than
That's good.
pleasing him, huh?
No. Pleasing him is in there.
You never wonder
Somewhere.
about what you look like while doing it?
That's what we
I'm
have the
in
mirrors
mood.
for. I
That's what the
love
mirrors
the
are for.
mirrors. Like, I'm visual.
That's
That is
wasteful time.
ridiculous.
So
I don't wanna
another
think
one,
too
the
much
men say, don't come yet. Don't come yet.
And then end up doing it.
But they were saying that a lot of men are concerned about the first 5 to 6 minutes
Because that's all it takes.
of penetration. That's what they said, because the struggle is real not to go prematurely.
Yeah,
You know, and so
Definitely. It's tough.
they're trying to, and then so one of them was saying that's, you know, they're trying to figure out, okay, what position can I do that can prolong it, and what, you know. I was like, I never thought about that.
Wow.
That's why they taking these little male enhancement pills at the liquor store. You know that, right?
At the liquor store?
So they don't
They
have
at
to.
the liquor
They can
store.
think about everything under the sun, and
They
ain't
got about
nothing
like
working.
7 of them up
Really?
in the front. Blue, yellow, black, green, purple. I've seen them.
Yeah,
They're
they
up
work.
there.
Maybe that's what the positions are for. Like, maybe when they put you in all those different kind of positions, you try to slow them down from coming. Like, I'm about to come, new position. Wait.
true. That is exactly.
You know what? We just need to learn how to relax and enjoy the moment. Stay in the moment.
Yes,
That's what makes them come
Something
to
about all
from
that.
3 to
Now
5
when
minutes.
you excited
God.
and didn't even
Last
think
that
that you were
long.
going to be able to do this.
And
with that
ladies,
woman.
don't be taking them Viagra pills, all right? Don't do
what
that.
the pink
Yeah.
pussycat pills.
The Viagra.
The pussycat pills.
That's
I don't
the
know
pink
about
pussycat
no pussycat pills. I'm talking about Viagra.
for the women. The women are taking
Yes.
it. The men's pill.
Yes.
Why?
Well, I'm sorry to say stupid. not to insult anybody. But
No, but why would they take the
we've had
men's
several
one?
that end up in the emergency room.
Why? It's
Don't-
not for you.
don't do that.
Just get the pussycat pill. The pink
No.
pussycat pill is $10, y'all. Just
gonna
go
cry.
get it. It works.
Only
Yes.
I'm gonna cry.
Yes.
man.
That and a shot of Jameson. Exactly where you need to go.
Right.
Real quick.
Wait, what do the pills do?
It enhances everything.
What do you mean by enhance?
She don't
That's
know.
enhanced.
She don't know.
If you touch, that's enhanced. If you rub, that's enhanced. Everything is times 10.
Okay.
She's not buying any. This has been Lady D's and Kissable Nights, and she ain't kissing nobody. No more. I don't know what all this conversation is about. But you can find me on Facebook at Doris Jean Drew, Lady D's, LADDEEZ, on Twitter and Instagram. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Miss Hey and Asia.
Tennis balls in her hand.
Say what?
2 balls.
Gold ones, too.
Go tennis balls.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
Alright, nephew. Mommy asked me to keep an eye on you today, so you're gonna hang out with Auntie Hallie. Is that okay? Yeah? Is that okay?
Oh, a good man never feels so berated, and a good man never goes outdated, because a good man, no, is one in a million, never easy to find, 'cause he's searching for his queen. So, how do you know when you find love if he's a good man? Oh, girl, check for the signs, and you know that it's right. 'Cause a good man ain't scared to wear his heart on his sleeve for the woman that he treasures and treats like a queen. Knows when to hold her tight and when she needs room to breathe. Yeah, knows that she ain't perfect and neither is he, but still he does his best to give her what she needs. He gets her man. That's how I know I got a good man. That I got a good man. I got a good man. I got a good man. That I got a good man. Oh, a good man makes him feel like a woman. He will protect her, at any given moment. Because a good man can get lost within her eyes. And nothing compares to the love this man can bear. So, how do you know when you find a love if he's a good man? Oh, girl, check for the signs, and you know that it's right. Yes, oh, a good man ain't scared to wear his heart on his sleeve for the woman that he treasures and treats like a queen. Knows when to hold her tight and when she needs room to breathe. Knows that she ain't perfect and neither is he, but still he does his best to give her what she needs. He gets her man, and that's how I know. That's how I know. That's how you know. Oh, girl, what are you waiting for? This man you got, he is our friend more than you ever dreamed. Don't walk away, 'cause your past may seem more than you can understand.
It's your girl Haley B, and that was Holly Johnson singing A Good Man. And I love her music so much, y'all.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Really pretty voice.
Beautiful.
So before I hop into Aja's interview, I want to talk about Jessi Smollett, who is a gay actor on TV as well as real life. He confirmed with Ellen DeGeneres. He is known for his role as Jamal on Fox's Empire, where he plays a homosexual man. Yesterday, it was reported that Jessi was hospitalized after being injured in a homophobic attack. The two men in a ski mask approached Jessi, "Aren't you that F, as in faggot, Empire nigger," proceeded to attack him, tie a rope around his neck, and pour bleach on him, and stated that this is mega country. Wow. According to www.hrc.org, in 2017, 7,175 hate crimes were reported based on sexual orientation and 119 on identity bias. Now, I'm saying this because during, like, my generation is now coming out about their
orientation,
sexual orientation. Yeah. And it's been harder for them because they've always been scared, like, what if I can get killed because of this? Yes. I can be put out because of this. I can be treated this way because of this. And they have finally found the courage to come out about who they are and what they are. Mm-hmm. Now, how you feel is how you feel. Right. That's understandable. But they are still human, and they are still, we are all one human race under God. Right. So nobody deserves to be treated inhumane because of, how they are, who they choose to be. We cannot control that. Nobody can control that. We can just only live to accept them. And we have to support, we don't have to, but we need to support them because we all know what it feels like to be treated different or a part of other races, color, sexual orientations, people, period. Yeah. We all know what it feels like. So Jessi Smollett is in my prayers
Absolutely.
for this attack.
That was horrible.
It's
That
ridiculous.
was absolutely horrible.
I cried.
I didn't know it was bleach that they poured on him. I know they said a liquid
Some
substance,
substance,
but that's even worse because he could have ended up blind from this.
Absolutely.
That's horrible.
It's just crazy. I feel like, I know this is going to sound all political and crap, but when you have a leader who is like unruly,
Yes,
your people tend to become unruly as well.
They feel quite.
And I hate to put this off on anyone for that matter, but the real truth is our leader is a crazy man. You know what I mean? And it's turning the world crazy. They have no love. They have no humanity.
Right.
And it's ridiculous.
yeah.
So I really, really hope that this shows at least us, that we need to, regardless whether he's, whatever his sexual orientation is, who cares? He's a human.
Exactly.
And he should never be treated that way.
Right.
That was horrible.
It's ridiculous.
I think what's so crazy because they've been having these type of incidents on gay men and gay women, trans and stuff like that, and you don't want this to happen, but in a way, it kind of needed to happen only because he's a superstar. And now people are taking notice, and now people are going to say, oh, no, we really need to stand up and do something because it was him. Because they put celebrities and the normal separate, like they're untouchable. This right here is saying, no, you're not untouchable. Whether it happened or not, they're saying you're not untouchable. And if it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. So,
And he's an LGBTQ advocate.
exactly.
Yes.
And that's what he's known for.
Right.
So I think, by them taking down an advocate, that was their big message.
Celebrity period. It's like now, okay, so you're not way up there. You're able to be touched. So now we really need to deal with it because it's been happening a lot. They don't really talk about it as much, but now there's a celebrity. Now there's on every news channel, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way at all.
I truly think it was a message too, honestly, like you just said. I feel like that person knew that this person was a celebrity and wants to send a message to the world.
Right.
And because he is an advocate, could make him a target as well.
Yeah, he received a letter. He was receiving letters, and he had security because of letters that were being sent to him.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess he was saying he wanted to go to Subway and get something to eat really quick, so he went out, and then that's what happened.
Well, just to make my segment brighter, let's move on. Let's move on.
Right.
I'm about to cry again.
I know, it's pretty sad.
Asia, thank you for coming to our show.
It's been a joy.
It has been a joy. So far, it has been a joy. So far, I've been
Look, we
cracking
might
up.
replace Erica with you.
No. She's like, what? No, never.
If looks could kill, you'd be dead.
That's my baby.
Headshot. Right. Headshot. Asia.
Thank you guys.
So tell me how, what made you want to become a life and relationship coach exactly?
Excuse me, my downfall. I think when I got to a point where I was real with myself and I realized that I was divorced. I had 3 children. I had just gotten out of a very, very difficult domestic violence relationship, and I had hit rock bottom, basically. And I was like, who's going to help me? Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, so if no one's here to help me, I've got to get myself better so I can help other people. And that's where that came from, basically. Also, my mother was kind of like a inspiration to kind of help women, mostly, to try to overcome failed relationships. I feel like my father, leaving her was like her downfall, or whoever left whom, right. Was her downfall. And she never really got picked up. She never picked herself up, really, to me. And it was like, okay, so nobody was there for her. This is a generational curse, if you ask me. So right. I've got to fix this. I cannot, have my girls grow up in an environment where they don't have someone, whether it be me or someone else that's a coach that can be able to help them through tough times.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that was my inspiration.
So, what is it that you do or talk to your patients about as a life and relationship coach? Like, what do you know?
It depends. Everyone is different. It depends on what they're going through at that time. I would say the most common is trying to overcome someone who's toxic. And I feel like that was one of my number one things that I was able to overcome. I was able to be knee deep in a physically abusive relationship, come out of it, and look back like, you dealt with that?
Right.
You know, you allowed that? And so when I have those clients who are trying to get over that toxic person, I literally see them. Like, I can hear their conversation and see their movements, and their response is like, you're not ready.
No.
Let me ask you about being toxic.
Mm-hmm.
So we know toxic, a bad relationship is a bad relationship.
Absolutely.
But would you say are there degrees to the levels of toxic behavior?
Absolutely. Yeah. You can have someone who's toxic like a family member.
Okay.
That you're in a relationship with, obviously. You know, you guys are family, but that person is chronically negative. You know, that person, you get around them and it's just like a cloud that comes over you. It's like, ugh.
I avoid those people.
Right.
Yes. Stand it. I cannot
So
stand
those
it.
are toxic people, and you get in relationships with those people, especially if you're toxic. Nobody really wants to say when they're toxic.
Right, that's true.
So when you're toxic, you tend to gravitate toward toxic people as well.
Okay.
Oh, is it healthy to not have sex in a relationship?
That's all
To
she think
not?
about.
It's always a learning experience for me.
Right,
So
because
I
I
like
want
my
to
last
know.
question.
So,
I think it is. It can be healthy if it especially if it starts off that way. If it starts off that way, where you guys have come to that agreement and you say, "Yeah, this is what we're going to do until we are married and we're together."
right.
Then yeah, you can totally do it. It's totally possible. But if you come in and y'all start having sex and then want to stop,
like
it's
they do.
Right. That's
Like,
exactly what it is.
I want to wait
Like,
to
quit
marriage.
playing.
You want to what? Seriously?
Quit playing. I'm
Why
gonna give
women
you a
do
week
that
to get
crap?
over this little thing you got going.
I'm going to give you a little sample so maybe see if you'll hang around. Maybe it's worth waiting for.
I was just trying to give you a test drive. Like,
Right.
stop.
Or that 90-day challenge. Like, let's wait 90 days.
That's you. That's
Then you want to throw the religion up in your face. You knew that before you laid down with those people.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
This is crazy. I know when one of my relationships before I got married, the guy who was marrying us, and he tells you make sure everything that you have in your past you put out
Right.
before you get married. So he goes into it knowing this is what's going on. Do you find it that people who are in relationships are hiding things or keeping things to themselves, so certain issues come up and they're dealing with it based off what happened with their past?
Baggage.
Yeah. So it's like it makes it harder for someone to move on with the relationship because they haven't dealt with the issues that they had in previous relationships, or even with family members, or like a lot of the people who are dealing with like the molestations and stuff like that. I think that's like major in the families when it comes to relationships. So how do you even deal with that or get them past that point?
Where, you know what, it's funny. I'm guilty of that too. I'm guilty of actually, being like truly like holding someone else accountable for a previous relationship. Being from a domestic violence relationship, I see something and I'm like, oh no, that looks familiar.
Right.
I don't like this. And then I kind of revert back to those feelings again. But you have to be able to check yourself. You got to know what those triggers are. If you don't know your triggers, you're going to be doomed. Right. You have to identify them and deal with them, and meet them head on, and be honest with yourself.
Right.
If you're not honest with yourself, you'll never be able to get over it. Right. So you got to be able to say, I made a mistake. I misjudged this person. It's not my fault. I can get over this. Move on. Right.
Right.
But I think a lot of people can't get over it because they're so busy, like you said before, like they're blaming the other person all the time. It's like you played no part in it. Yeah. And I grant you there are some people who they're really innocent people and they just end up with some devils.
Absolutely.
We see it all the time. But in most cases, it's a two-party situation, and you're trying to get over what he did, but what about getting into who you are and acknowledging your part in it? I could have done this better, or I should have done that better.
Taking accountability.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't want to do that. They want to blame it on everybody else.
You got to know how you're wrong. Right.
Let's take this into a break. When we come back from a break, we'll finish the conversation. It's been girl Haley B on Get Lipped. Stay tuned.
Get lipped.
Get lipped.
You should write a check for him. Don't you know they check for him? You should know we chosen. You should know we chosen. You should write a check for him. Don't you know they check for him? You should know we chosen. You should know we chosen. LA native, West Side raised me. Second home, Long Beach. Yeah, they embrace me. That's why I had my first fist fight. That's why I had my hold up depth hit right. Boy, you better stick and move. Cause these streets don't play nice. And I know my right from wrong. All the time I right my wrongs. 9 to 5 to 5 to 9. Feel like it's a rat race. I break it back with a back brace on my last day before I get paid. Y'all being late. I was 15, right 16's on Korea Day. How are you a king when you don't even have a crown? If I ain't jumping to it, me you're gonna bow down. You say that you stuck, but I never see the sauce. You ain't paid the cost. You talking to a boss. But my fly on out of cruise and I ain't looking lost. I'm 3 steps ahead. I can't afford a loss. I ain't cutting slack. Nah, I can't give you that. It's a different cloth that I'm cut from, and you can't sew me back. You should write a check for him. Don't you know they check for him? You should know we chosen. You should know we chosen. You should write a check for him. Don't you know they check for him? You should know we chosen. You should know we chosen. I kill them, no rigor mortis. Find their bodies where the mortgage. And if they competition, catch them working at the corporate. Straight up killing for survival. Why we living by the Bible?
Welcome back to Miss K's Little Slip Show. So let's finish our you want to finish the topic, or can I continue?
Who was that we were listening to?
That was Loyal Raymond.
You say you follow him?
Yeah, I do. I just posted him and tagged him. So shout out to him, Loyal Raymond.
Yes.
Sorry. My question to you is, I can't hear you behind the window.
You're talking to her.
Why are you yelling at me?
Yes,
Yeah, he's been here before.
Yes.
I'm sorry, y'all. You know what? I'm gonna just shout out to my boy Loyal Raymond. That segment was cool, y'all.
Yes.
His music is dope. Stay tuned, you feel me? Like, support other black music rappers and artists and singers, period.
You feel me?
Follow him on my story, hey.6.
Okay.
Adults can't see it, so
It's my spam again.
my story is my spam. If you think I got you blocked, yes, you are blocked off my story. 100.
That's enough.
Let's finish this. I'm speaking facts, factual statements over here, y'all.
Hilarious. Making me hot.
My generation doesn't believe in love. We don't. It's a question mark. Maybe like 3 or 4.
Yes.
What is your advice to millennials when it comes to love?
Don't. The millennials that I feel that don't believe in love did not see love.
We did it
growing up. So my advice would be don't do what your parents did.
See, I'm trying to help them out, but
do the opposite. Like, my daughter is 19, y'all. Like, she's 19. She says the same exact thing. I ain't got no time for all that. No love and all that. She don't trust boys as far as she can throw them. Good. But it's because she saw her dad was a player.
Oh, wow. That's
in
sad.
my opinion. Yeah. So when you see that, it's like, good man, though. Mm-hmm. Good father. But, he kind of liked the ladies. So it gave her a look on men like, nah, I can't trust you.
Wow.
So
well, how do you balance that out, though? There's got to be a way. I mean,
You know, me personally, I think I've gotten to the point where I'm healed, I'm in love, and I try to show her what she should have seen from me and her father. So now I show her, yes, you can go through the ringer with a man, but you can meet a good one. And you can have life after that and love after that. And honestly speaking, right now, I don't want her to be in love. You're in college, finish your education, do your thing, have fun, but don't fight love. If you fall in love with someone, you work with them, and you be friends, so you can be able to build a real love and not no fake fly by night love.
What does it mean to? So this is the real question. What does it mean to make love?
Ooh, I think, in my opinion, it means being completely naked emotionally.
That's it right there.
It has nothing to do with taking off a article of clothing.
Absolutely.
You have to be able to emotionally get naked and lay down everything that hurts you, that makes you laugh, that makes you cry, that makes you, just feel overwhelmingly loved. That is making love, in my opinion.
So do you think that's what most toxic people deal with, is being emotionally naked with letting out their emotions of how they feel with others, period? You think that's what...
Yeah, I feel like toxic people are people who saw a certain way of life. One of the toxic men that I have encountered, he saw his mother get beat. So he thought it was okay. It was a good thing. He literally witnessed that his mother dying over it.
Oh my God.
So that can build resentment.
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't want to tell people like, my mom is dead because she allowed a man to beat her.
Right.
So, I don't think that they want to give people that nakedness of them. Out of embarrassment, mostly.
Usually. It is, actually, yes, it is. Especially as, us getting older and growing up, you think that it wouldn't be a lot of tension like that in young relationships?
Absolutely.
But sadly, there really is. Like, most of us are, ruined in relationships because of the way our parents are. Like, I know people who go into relationships saying, "Oh, I cheat because my parents cheat on each other all the time. That's how I was raised." Or I hit my girl because my daddy hit his girl, and I thought it was, thought that was just how to handle her, and we supposed to help each other out. So as a woman to a man, as a girl to a guy my age, it's like, that ain't right. And they come back harder, like, that ain't right. Like, we argue. We argue all the time amongst each other as a generation. And we try so hard to find answers and find resolutions to our problems. I think that we need a real guidance counselor. I think we actually all need help together. Yes, real mentors.
Right. Yes.
Because people in the media, singers, rappers, they're not really helping.
No.
They're usually
like it's okay.
Yes.
They're helping to be able to get the words out in the way that they want to express it. It's still masked. Right. It's never really the real thing. It's just that they're using certain phrases and certain ways to be able to get that hurt out, but they're not really telling their true story.
Right.
Some of the greatest, I've known a really good rapper, and he rapped about a whole lot, but he never touched on the fact of never touched on the things that really hurt him at his core. He left that alone. That was for him.
Right.
Do you think that rapping in a way of expressing yourself through music or poetry or spoken word, do you think that's a good way to get all your emotions out of expressing yourself?
I think it's very therapeutic, but you have to be real about it.
Gotta be honest.
You have to be real about it. Don't talk about you've been shot 10 times and you've never been shot before. Talk about the stuff that you really are going through, because it's therapeutic. It will get you through some of the toughest times.
Yeah, we'll get some other people through too, because they're buying into it, they're listening to it. Yeah,
definitely.
What makes you stand out or unique from other doctors, other people who help out with life and relationships?
I think I'm a realist at the end of the day. I I give tough love. Like, I'm a cusser. I love to cuss. And
I love to cuss.
And I tell my clients, like, look, I'm a cuss. I don't mean it. I love you to death. But I'm going to give you some real words that's going to stick with you.
That's right.
And
resonate.
And I'm not going to baby you.
Right.
You know, I'm going to definitely be compassionate about the situation because I've probably been there before. Right. But I am the tough love giver, and I am a realist. I'm not going to sugarcoat what you're going through just to be able to say, "Oh, I helped you." No, I want to really help you,
right? And
not water you down.
Have you had any patients that bounce back, like relapse from their healing process? Like they ended up in the same situation they were in prior to coming to you?
Yeah, they go back. They go back to the toxic person. And sometimes it works. For now.
You know what? I thank God that I cannot relate to that. You know, if it's bad, it's bad, and leave. I don't take that lightly because a lot of people can't get to that. You know, that returning to bad situations, I can't wrap my mind around that.
Familiar territory.
It's like people committing suicide. We take a lot for granted, but I thank God that He keeps my mind enough to realize that I can't get to that. I cannot relate to that.
Right.
Those are some really sick people mentally, you know, and I don't take that lightly.
No.
So going back into toxic relationships,
I think what's crazy is, and I think the most valuable lesson that I've ever taught my daughter was, you can love anybody you want to love, but when it's starting to hurt you, it is okay to leave. We're not taught that when we're growing up. When they say get married, they say that marriage to death do you part, and you go through everything. Don't leave, stick with them. No, it is okay to leave.
It is.
And you can still be that person's friend and whatever, but from a distance. And a lot of people don't. Some.
Very few people.
But a lot you can. And I think that's one thing that I make sure. If it does not serve you any kind of purpose at all, and you hurting more than it feels good, walk away from it, because you can walk away.
And you know what? A lot of them can walk away, but for me, I saw something in that toxic person that was at my core. I saw my father in him, so I didn't want to leave him. Part of me wanted to nurture him and coddle him, and that was the mother in me. But he also lost a mother. Remember? So I was trying to.
So you stepped in as a parent instead of his mate. That's another thing. And I always say, you're supposed to be his mate. If you step in and you start even talking to the woman or the man you with, like you're their dad or their mom, you gotta go.
And we're nurturers, so we always think we can love somebody out of foolishness, but you can't.
Not as a parent,
they're
though.
sick.
Yes.
You know, they need more than you can give them.
Yeah, okay.
I am. Okay, one last question.
No.
Because the go.
I have fun. Anyway. AJ, is there anywhere we can find you on social media?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at AJA_ALIA and on Facebook, Aja Aaliyah. Very simple.
You gotta come back.
I will. No, please do for real, because I have a lot of more questions.
No, seriously, I will come back whenever you guys want me.
I wrote down like 3, and I got like 13 more to go. This has been Missy K's Lip Slip Show tonight, and as your host, Haley B. Lady D's, where can we find you?
I forgot. Dorothy Drew, Facebook, Twitter, Lady D's, Instagram, Lady D's.
Laleezy.
Yes, Lala on Missy K Lip Slip Show on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. And again, we have this group called Missy K Lip Slip Group where we get so nasty and we talk about all kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
It ain't that nasty that I'm a part of it. You can find me on Instagram at heyhey.6, HAIHAI.6, and on Facebook at Haley Bell Lindsay, BALE, not BELL like the princess. And no, don't ask me to unblock you. But bye.
Bye.
Don't ask me to unblock you.
Missy K Show. Missy K Show.